So for this video, I increased my cursor size a little bit, so hopefully you can see it a little clearer. But I'll just start it up. This is a HP on rewind.
Oh, rewind,
Or
boys
wait,
and girls,
yeah,
here we
HP.
go. Now, in front of you, that's a VHS store, and there's another store that sells beepers. For you kids at home, don't worry about it.
I was going to make the exact same joke.
So that's an interesting break off. So you have basically 3 glass. So no, yeah, pretty much 3 glass. You have a guy hole watching another guy slides long, and he's gonna use this staircase as a heady, probably to watch the right with his teammate, and then this guy's gonna hold the left side of glass. I lied, it's 2 glass. This guy's watching mid. He's working with his teammate Dumpster to watch the OA. I think 100T. Yeah, wait. Everything's flipped. Oh god. So I'm just gonna assume that the names are accurate and the teams are not.
Don't worry about it, kids.
So if that's the case, then Faze are the white arrows, and 100T are the red arrows.
Too easy.
Just enjoy the slides.
Ask your parents.
It says Celium and it's showing Hydra. Okay. So
Ask your parents.
it's kind of really difficult to make a setup in this hill. It's very difficult to nade it though. So for a P1, it's kind of unique in that regard. But yeah, they're just kind of stacked up watching everything. They're trying to.
Parents are already in their 30s.
A lot of different timings. Good kill by Envoy. Basically, you just gotta win the trade war. You have this little series of gunfights going on street, but Envoy knows the street should be good. He's worried about his topside DVD. There's glass, I guess. Ghosty was worried about the other side of the peak from glass and gets his kill. Simp knows he's. I say simp. Is it simp, you think?
Location.
But he knows that where Envoy is and that he's weak, so he just plays for it.
There's 700 ways into this place, and there's only one way out through the kill feed.
I was actually surprised to see even.
I think this actually is Celium because this is the camo that Celium has been using. So ignore the fact that it's a picture of Hydra and ignore the fact that it says this is 100 Thieves. This is actually Celium. The names are accurate.
Rocking the old aims as well off the rip instead of the SMG, so thought we were going to see more in the kill feed, but hey, shouldn't question it.
So Simp's just going to refill through middle here, and it's actually unexpected, I think, because they killed the guy early on this cross. And this is going to be Ghosty. Ghosty's killing this guy probably gave his team some peace of mind that they would have some false peace of mind, I should say, that they should have info on anyone who's crossed out of here.
Simp starts off 4-1, so he
This spawn should immediately start freaking them out.
clearly knows what
7 immediately turns and starts looking. This is like a close mid spawn. This is horrible. This should never happen in a million years.
he's doing
20 seconds on time, no less.
off the rip, but the hill time still being collected by 100 Thieves.
Yeah, technically.
Team names are backwards.
Yeah, the teams
So
are
BZ's actually gonna get one. Okay, that's insane. I don't know how he was watching that on time, but he assumed that if anyone was gonna chow time, because it's the scrap period, like it's the there's not a lot of time left, that they would chow from right so that they could quickly get into P4 and gens. So he kind of proned, made sure no one could see from mid, and just held that.
That's the player's fault.
He just
That's the player's fault.
made a decision and stuck with it.
Doing what he can here. So,
Worked out.
We'll keep you clued in, chat. Don't worry. We got you covered. We got you covered here. That is in fact Scrap doing what Scrap can, and what Scrap can do is get his boys a sweet lead.
So being in this position is interesting, but it is one way to watch the OE to cover spawns. He is gonna die, but it's not the end of the world.
On the road.
Have a look at these reads. Well, actually, BZ gets run over, but you had so much pressure worried about.
Wait, so 6 is on, but I hate. So the arrows are the wrong color. Like Faze show up as white. Oh, never mind.
Those flanks coming
I'm
through, 'cause
tweaking.
the back spawn's ever important.
Alright.
That's where Envoy
So
or
Envoy gets the spawns.
Envoy is going
He gets shot at from the back and he knows it, so that was fortunate that he didn't get traded.
and able to lock
Sim's
down
gonna
those
run for
back
that trade.
spawns as well, but spawns are one thing, kills are another. Little dance
Envoy's
inside
gonna end
the
up getting it.
tunnel, comes out on top.
He will be traded.
Nice balance.
Faze are gonna. Oh, because Envoy needed to play his life there, I think.
They're trying to find the entries, trying to keep the their presence up for his
There's
boys. We get the
not a
red
good way to
arrows
do
on
it,
the
but
minimap in this map.
they spawn like dumps, like whatever the fuck you want to call these pallets.
Are the boys of 100 Thieves. Actually, 100 Thieves. The white arrows of Faze. We will keep you clued in. Right now, folks, 100 Thieves are up. Another attack there on the point. Nice nades there. Scrap.
So this deep RB gunfight is very typical. There's nothing you can do from here. I tell people the team that's spawning on close P2 is going to get a lot of time on P2. It's pretty much a money hill. There's the route you have to hit in order to OE for the spawns is really long. If you're going to try and get into the play, then once you like get a line of sight, right? If you need to get to hill or to try and put pressure on, you have to continue running all the way down the map and then in. Like, the route is ridiculous. So
Finding Sim damage already dealt, and a lovely hold once again for the Thieves.
And again, for
it's
players
just
at
a
home
prep
trying to
hill.
level up their game, the spot you just saw Hydra using the cop car just behind this hill, it is the god spot. It is so difficult to be killed out of it. Just make sure you have a trophy so it doesn't blow up on you.
Nice work.
So they're gonna end up being able, or this is going to be. Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting. This is Faze. It's gonna be able to hold the cross. It was at 100 Thieves. They got the scrap here.
Draws is still trying to make sure that no one gets out of the old hard point.
Just all the time, really.
Out in the middle of this sort of parking lot, this is a very, very open position.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to deal with this guy Dumpster, but there's a lot of angles. Like, you can see it from hull. You can see cross from hull as well on the other side of like this car. A lot of things from hull you can see.
What kind of angles here the boys of Faze have got?
Let's see. So Joe's gonna fill and he's gonna get weird timing on dump. Faze are just gonna continue holding front. You're only looking for two. You know that they spawn there, so nothing should be too controversial.
As they're holding this one well, but oh dear.
Oh, he doesn't know that the guy's in there. I think he thought he was prone on the other side of cop car, but his teammate would have killed him.
Very confused. Sim gets
And
absolutely
he's actually gonna get another one.
cut to pieces there by Ghosty.
Oh, that's
Ghosty's gonna get 3 and they get team nated. That's insane.
nutty. Faze actually just sort of popped off to really keep that pressure at bay because the initial flank from Ghosty, he then goes and responds and just sort of dominates the hill and takes.
And so 100 Thieves are easily gonna flood in here. They have a closer spawns. This spawn where Faze is spawning is like pretty much. You need 2 people to flip it, kind of. Unless you get a guy to OE street and get in the perfect spot, you need 2 people to flip this. Because if you hit front, they'll spawn here. They'll spawn like street side. So you need to be blocking both, basically. And the only way you can do that generally is having a guy street. Next hill is not as much of a money hill as P2, but depending on how, one wave of kill goes, it could turn into a full 60.
Takes it back over. It's actually Scrap that goes and gets those kills. So Ghost and defeat Scrap in reality, but either way, just doing it like a
Sim doing the outer route, Ghosty being fucking ready for it is hilarious.
juggernaut. And for Ghosty, easy reads off the map, and they are now spawn trapping Faze.
Oh, this is tough. Charles, I'm the juggernaut.
Yeah, and Faze are actually gonna flip out. Huh. So could it be that for next you have to flip with 2?
He says.
And when it's spawning for P3, this is the only set of spawns? Or maybe Burger is just prio spawns. And, like, there was no block on Burger, so that's why Faze spawned Burger. That's probably more likely. I think the Burger spawn is kind of a bad spawn, though.
Quick flip. Great awareness.
This map is just bad.
But what a great start there.
Not
from
much
the
to
boys of
do
Thieves.
about that.
Hydra. Oh, he went for the swing. Not an easy thing to do. Pull your knife out if you can, but very, very difficult situation to be in regardless from BO6. Over to Draz. Gifted the kill on a Hydra.
Yeah, I mean,
So you see kind of how they're just using these long lines of sight to just cut. He's on white, just watching this jump kind of area. Steep spawn. This guy's holding it the OE, which is really important. And this is not an angle you're gonna expect someone to be honest.
his headset clearly working, but this is also a break that Atlanta Faze.
Yep, and Scrap and Ghosty are gonna hold things down from their respective long lines of sight. I mean, as you would expect from two of the best ARs in the world.
Desperate for in a break that Atlanta Faze not looking like they're gonna get. Draza tried to pick you up 2 kills, but he gets shut down. Simp gonna fall.
Oh, I forget the kill feed is wrong. It's actually Hydra on the car.
Well, and there are no open avenues of attack. This is gonna be a 100-point lead and then some. 100 Thieves rewind the series looking for this reversal.
Yeah, and so that's what I was saying. Like, you can really string some time on this hill if Faze finally have created an opening through this side. But the window of time is short.
Boy, I love what you did there.
He gets in, he immediately gets the kill. It's going to be up to Sim.
And feed from Abe.
Why did you not jump in the window? Okay.
Arguably really him. And over to Hydra. Holds onto the
Okay, Cell somehow wins a miracle, but yeah. They just spawn close hill. There's nothing you can do.
second before Celian brings him down and again close.
They needed to get in before that window of time, and then they could play around the angles, but instead no one got in. Sim needed to jump in the window. That's for sure.
To get to this point, and the spawns are even closer, so kudos to the boys of Thieves there. They've done massive, massive work. The 100-point lead on its way. Chance, what a transformation coming into map 4.
I mean, look, we thought it was going to be a...
Okay. This is an interesting series of trades going into P4. Not gonna lie. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Central 3-0 beatdown, the way FaZe Clan started, but this is a blockbuster matchup right
I'm sorry,
now.
P5.
Can't be stopped.
Yeah, I mean, come on, low-hanging fruit.
He can't be stopped.
I want candy.
Here comes
Okay, so it's gonna be a 1v4 for time. Well, realistically a 2v4.
the Thieves.
But I
Faze, the
mean,
first hole we've seen them.
this is a close spawn, but like you need to open this angle up first in order to be able to help, and you just can't. This guy like got back down middle. Like a BZ's just in a 1v4.
I'm having a while. Oh my goodness, it's falling a piece.
Now that they're playing hill very tight, very close together.
House of Cards. Hydra. Hydra! Oh my good God!
Hydra just pushes out
What
front.
a three-piece that was.
It's very hectic, very difficult to break because the RVOE is like not even an option. You have to take a long OE, but this is one of those hills like on Vault where FaZe was pushing through the P3 kind of for P4, where they were taking their time, forcing, like not giving up info, forcing Thieves to watch every part of the map. This is one of those hills where you need to start splitting the other team's attention. You can't just try and bang out from the front. It's not going to work out. I don't think it matters. Well, from this side, I mean. On this side, you can probably bang out front, but
Yeah, I think we're going to see a map 5. I don't think Hydra's giving us much of an option there.
Not at all. Over to Scrap, locking down the point alone.
very difficult to break from here, like solo dolo. But you do need a kill. This is the best possible outcome because both the guys on time are challenging into a preem that could be a double preem.
Coverage now from the outside. Any more damage to be dealt here is what a hard point we are seeing.
Nade
Points
trade
to
is
go.
really
25
important.
seconds to go here in the
Gaza
storeroom.
is a little
no,
late.
gonna check that corner. Sim
And
finally-
so going to be kind of a little flank that's going to pay off, but I mean, Thieves are already recollapsing on the hill before the break is even done.
It's the break, but it's not enough. There are Thieves everywhere, and the Thieves with a dominant lead.
Yeah, the only thing breaking is the back at FaZe,
Yeah,
right?
and they know based off this spawn that once again FaZe is spawning front, and
Now they have
Yeah.
offered us...
this would be a situation where FaZe can go through RV. Because they have info on the guys that are like pushed up. They know that one guy is going to be there probably, but it's not going to be stacked or
nothing
stackable.
So far on the map.
Especially with this
Playing
amount of time
top-top
left.
Again, maybe the trades in and around gens, but even Ghosty seems...
But they just have full P1 control while FaZe are trying to clean up P5. And it's just not going to work, I don't think. He'll get a kill, but time will get traded out. They'll know where the last guy is. They'll be in better positions to rotate.
It's impossible to kill the dance around the boxes and
Okay, never mind. I don't know how the guy on time ended up getting one, but
maybe just has to bait his teammates.
really
Ghosty
good that he did,
can't-
yep, because now that's kind of flipped on its head. They still have better position for time, somewhat, but they, like, that's one guy who has a better position, whereas the next 3 people on the map with position for P1 are all FaZe players, so.
Quite do it all, but oh, he was so close.
All 4, sorry. So, Cell's gonna try and make the less predictable play, force the guy on time to watch the door, because they don't know what he's doing, and he's just gonna, like, try and cut bushes. He'll get shot in the back.
But even still, his teammates, hey, they got the rotation over towards new.
P1 we go.
Yeah, and now it's just a heavy bang out, 2 window, 1 middle. Then you have the guy that was originally time getting one.
No.
Jaws goes down. Last guy's street. He's gonna be entry. Yep, dead.
What is Hydra doing?
Now you continue to get this time here. They're gonna spawn street. The guy hole needs there's too big of a time disparity between 2 and 3 on the minimap here.
Anything he wants.
So this guy's gonna try and chow. He's gonna try and get a freebie. Envoy for some reason is gonna give it to him, or almost give it to him.
The thieves are alive.
Yep, and they're just gonna keep holding front. Next to, I mean, this is just typical like pacing. 100 Thieves just have better pacing. They're just playing faster,
Nade is
more confident, I guess.
probably glazing, and with damn good reason. 20 and 15 doesn't seem that impressive, but the gameplay certainly is.
Dude, and I tell you, it's just so cheeky, that little move out of Hydra. You have to get this side sprint before you hit
Just everything is so staggered from Faze. They need to start taking their time a little bit more. I feel like the stagger hits don't work, like in these especially on this map, but they just don't really work.
slide or you get the dead slide. It trips me up all the time for Hydra. It
When
is
the other
fluid,
team
it is
spawns
flawless,
a lot
and
closer
you
than
can
you do,
show off the types of creative things you can do in this game.
or they already have control of the angles, you need to work it as a team.
Sell the solo push.
You see, they're killing Faze players all over the place.
Cut down, easy.
All sorts of different timings.
Here. Checked it. Oh, you.
Simp ends up getting here for P2. The kill hole is pretty big. Sim's going to be able to cut this door. Not much you can really do, though. He might end up sitting in this corner.
Nearly another world
He'll
star
back
man
up.
alone.
Watch the whole
Full
cross.
streaks from scrap too.
Number 2's really big here. You cannot give up these spawns.
Not that Hellstorm is that useful on a few of these hills, but regardless, handy.
Well, I mean, this is a hill that is wide out.
And he's going to end up getting it. He might end up getting traded.
The open, and it's a
They
hill
will.
where you got guys like
Oh my gosh, he almost just got turned on. But yeah, that's what I was thinking in my head. Someone should be watching his street on reflank here, or just filling behind him after he gets that first, or just during the initial gunfight. It's the very beginning of the hill, and there should be no incentive for you to try and like keep Faze off time and get in a trade war where, you know, there's no way that you're ever gonna get that time. You're just trying to keep the other team off time. There's a full 60 left. You're up by 150 points, you know, just play the spawns, play to close it out.
Trap looking for the spawns right now. 100 Thieves just trying to overwhelm and block those spawns.
So Faze are all spawning close, and 100 Thieves are going to have a nice little, like, collapse on hill.
Hydra going to be successful, but you still have to get the kills. But number 3 on the minimap, completely out of this play.
They've read it perfectly.
Yeah, and they don't wrap back and play for spawns. Instead, 2 people are playing front with submachine guns behind the same fucking vehicle. And while 2 Thieves players are OEing for spawns, and 2 are hitting front.
Draza still are the lone
Draza's got to stay alive. Palace, he's the only one blocking.
man up for now. Trying to contend.
It's going to end up getting weak. They're actually off time at this point, which is pretty good.
Spawns. All players are up.
He's going to try and just slide out, take the space before this guy pushes up. That's actually a pretty good play. He ends up getting one. Now, what is it? A Beezy might be able to slide in, get one, and continue blocking.
Here we go. Flying into
No, he ends up losing it. Hydra wins a huge, well, not really huge. The game's not close, but
point. That's going to be the
it's a
break.
very
My
important
goodness,
gunfight
this
for this
Hydra's
30
grabbing the
seconds of
feed,
time.
and that is going to be the 200-point mark cross.
So another OE. This is later into the hill. It's less important. If you're 100 Thieves, like, you're not even really tripping. Like, oh, he's hitting our back, you know? But they just kind of need it.
Kudos, Thieves.
Yeah,
It's, they're not in a position where they're going to be able to take enough space to keep them off time for the scrap period.
Again, when rank play comes out, I pray to God my teammates are taking the exact same routes.
Yeah, they might be, mate. They might be. Hydra rolling through the members of
Hydra just, like, pushed out space. Or taking the space. His teammates are just kind of watching. Like, they're just spectating his little blue dot.
Faze or toe-to-toe with a Beezy. What a battle it was.
Yep. There's like, oh, you got another one? Cool. I'll just sit here and continue watching you through the wall, you know?
It's Hydra again. Here comes Celium in a lot of trouble. The game is just getting very much out of hand. I cannot believe the scoreline we are.
There's one over there. Faze actually gets splits here. So this push might be doomed from 100 T. Because they can't push bushes. They're all coming out mid.
Seeing here. Do not adjust your sets. Do not refresh your.
Hydra almost just crosses the street and kills him for free. That's hilarious.
It is 2:24.
Okay, but yeah, last 2 are stuck red.
Climbing.
Let's see if
And do you see what I'm seeing? It looks like they disconnected from the game. Wow. they're just sitting there waiting for their teammates to spawn up, get the info, like, okay, you spawn here, so, like, we know where the other two probably are, and we'll try and get a freebie. We'll work, keep mid control together.
Opportunity to culminate right now. Faze clan alone in the hill.
Yeah, wait for their teammates to spawn up, and then they'll play it all together. They don't even really have to, because I think Scrap was in a cruise missile.
Didn't just juke a Hellstorm.
I think you did. Well done, mate. It's not over yet. Here comes a BZ. That's his Hydra.
He's sitting there watching the outer hit, which is why he was looking there. Just letting you know, he's not that brain dead. He knows that is the out of bounds.
Looking for the second. He's gonna get
She
it.
can indeed hit that.
And now on the point. A BZ absolutely moving. Next wave of attack.
Alright, so Faze kind of get a little momentum front here. Might be too little too late for that, though.
On their way.
All right, 4-man wipe. You got control of the time.
Number 6, who is this, bro? Envoy hitting the route of the 21st right now. So Ghosty's going to hold back here and try to ensure that they get spawns for next with this 25 seconds. Envoy's going to try and hit a route here to try and recollapse on point, deny the scrap, maybe get the scrap yourself. And also Envoy's primary job right here, though, needs to be to stop blocking kind of any of these spawns over here. Same thing with the 200 Thieves members, so they need to make their play quickly.
You got trophies here as well. And
After the first kill, I should say.
Spawns for new Ghosty. The disappearing act, he just shows
Yep,
up.
yep, and you see how it happened. Like once the first kill came down or went down, okay, they started hitting through, and now that if they were still like kind of slow in there, this guy might not have spawned here. If Envoy was still back here, like hitting that route at a different timing, they might have spawned in the back here. You have to be aware of that. You want them to spawn here with 16 left on this hill. You really want that, because you want to be spawning here for next and get all that time.
You blink on the mini-map and you miss it.
So now 100 Thieves are in a position where they're getting the scrap time off a decently coordinated kind of collapse onto the point, made sure that they weren't blocking, made sure that they played for spawns, and they didn't throw them, and now they're getting 13 seconds scrap time, and they have rotation for a money hill.
A wild circumstance, and 100 Thieves off that will be able to win this game.
Oh, they might be able to win it. One more break is all you need. Get in there. You have to stop the bleeding immediately. Faze, that could be it, folks. We're going to a game 5.
Oh, there you go. That is that map. Rewind's a little bit more straightforward because there's just long lines. A lot of the hills and a lot of the ways that you play front hill is the same, and it's very spawn oriented. You don't have to go over like how to break. Like if you just have P2 spawns, then you're gonna have P2 unless you are really like skill gapped. So anyway, we'll go to last map, see how that goes.